Hi, hello. Even before we were recording, I was talking about how I don't have a plan. It is me, Edwin. Samuel, how are you?
I'm good, Edwin. How are you?
I'm glad to hear. Moki, I see that you two are a fellow Bo is Afraid man. How was that?
It was an enjoyable experience.
Wonderful. All right. Now, as we all know, we're here to talk about Bo is Afraid. And I want you guys to just do it without any spoilers because I haven't seen it. But I decided, I'm still going to host the Bo is Afraid spoiler cast one way or another.
Oh yeah, that makes perfect
Right.
sense. Yeah,
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 of
yeah.
course, of course, of course. For the next 3 hours, we're gonna go
I mean, I
frame
could
by
go in
frame.
deep on that film. So
Yeah,
Perfect.
this
All right,
this
I
there's
will
a lot.
start. I think Bella's Afraid is actually maybe a masterclass in cinema. Again, I haven't seen it. I think that the cinematography, again, haven't seen it, is actually top notch. The use of colors and the visual storytelling, very good. Again, haven't seen it. Sam, how do you feel about Bella's Afraid?
Best Tim and Eric sketch I've seen in a long time. Tim Heidecker looked really different. Looked a lot like Joaquin Phoenix for some reason.
No, I was just very confused about Bella's Afraid. I was wondering, why it just looked like a 480 YouTube video, and then out of nowhere Taylor Swift popped out. That was easily the weirdest part of the movie. Anyways, Resident Evil 4.
Resident Evil 4.
Yeah. No, let's just. The bit has gone long enough. Resident Evil.
Resident Evil.
Okay, hold on. Right off the bat. Why the fuck did they not bring that man back? I know that he's not back for the remakes, but I prefer if Resident Evil 4. And not only that, if you have the deluxe edition, collector's edition, or whatever the fuck they want to call it this time, if you put on the old sound effects, he's there again, and it's a new recording.
Wait, oh, I didn't turn that on yet, so I was like, oh, okay, that's at least that's there, even though that's paywalled.
Yeah, but you have to change all the sound effects, and all the new sound effects sound weird, but that one is there, and that one sounds really good, and it pisses me off.
That's very bizarre.
I also had no idea because I haven't turned that on. Even though I have the deluxe edition, I had
I
not.
have yeah.
That's the thing, though. When I was playing RE2, the first time I played that game, or maybe it was the second, but I wanted to turn on the old sounds immediately just because that old RPD theme is just so good.
Facts.
Okay, now I had no idea that Resident Evil 2 has that, so I might
Yeah, it
end up.
has the same pack, and the music, the main menu music is so good. It's so like over the top, bombastic.
Oh God. Okay. PS Store. Am I going to buy this live on air?
There's no way it's more
Maybe.
than two. No, maybe $4 is my cap.
Look,
I'm gonna say it's
I'd say
one.
three.
I'm thinking 199, but it might be 299.
if I recall correctly, I am currently positive $5 on Resident Evil 4 with everything that I've bought. So, like,
You
like,
got money to trade.
yes. Don't wait. No, hold on. The entire reason yep, I am plus $5. So, collector's edition, collector's steelbook, PS5 disc, three Best Buy steelbooks, and another collector's edition steelbook. Like, I have currently been paid $5 to play Resident Evil 4 and buy all of that shit. So, I even bought the collector's edition DLC for Resident Evil 4 by the time I was done because I kind of want all of this dumb shit. So, if I can just be negative 15 for all of that plus Resident Evil 2 DLC, why not? Why not? Okay, you know what? We've wasted enough time. We're on a 2 hour time limit here again because I refuse to pay for any of these podcasting services. So let's go ahead and just start off as we do everything. How did we get here? So we'll just go ahead and start with the original one. I will go ahead and start. I remember high school, ninth grade. How old am I? It's 2023. I'm 20. I'm going to be 28 this year. Jesus Christ. I'm going to be 28 this year. Ninth grade. You do the math. I don't want to do it. I remember that I had a friend in conceptual physics, a class that I think no longer exists because now they just teach people regular physics. And there was a guy there who was like, I've never played Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. And I was like, I've never played Metal Gear Solid 4. And he's like, we should trade. And then the year ended and I never got my copy back, but I did have Resident Evil 4. I don't know where that copy is. That copy is gone. I played it for a little bit. I didn't stick with it that long. I'm ashamed. I remember trying it again later on. When? But when it really stuck was 2018, 2019. For my lunch breaks, to avoid just being even fatter at my job, I would just go to the second floor. I would find a little quiet room and I would play Resident Evil 4 on my Switch. And yeah, I got through it. I beat the game. I was like, yeah, that's a really good fucking game. So yeah, that's where I got to Resident Evil 4. Sam, tell me, how has Resident Evil 4 entered your life and enriched it in some way?
Um, you said Metal Gear Solid 4 earlier, and then said Resident Evil 4, so I got like confused for a
Wait, hold
second.
on. I said Metal Gear Solid 4?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait, did I say Metal Gear
Okay.
Solid 4 Snake Eater?
Okay.
No.
You said no. You said Metal Gear Solid. You traded Metal Gear Solid 3 for Metal Gear Solid 4.
Oh,
I was
whoops.
like, okay, I'm glad
That's
I'm
a
not.
bad trade, actually.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not the only one who noticed that slip up. I was like, wait a minute, did I hear that right? But anywho,
No. So I transmorged my Metal Gear Solid 4 copy into a Resident Evil 4 copy.
Yes,
gotcha.
yes.
That's how
There,
that works.
there was Dark Alchemy involved. I was never able to do it again.
Gotcha. Resident Evil 4, that game came out when I was literally like 5, and then my first experience with it wouldn't have been until like literally like I was like 6 or 7 when I first tried it because my mom didn't look at ESRB ratings. So
Dope.
so like literally rented it from the local store, plugged it into the GameCube, uh got like, being young as I am, like just like didn't know what the hell I was doing, got to the chainsaw guy in the village, and it just, quickly over, but it was like enthralling enough, even if it was terrifying, that I kept going, and didn't really officially beat it until like a few years later, and like getting older and getting better at video games. But I did, and then like once they released it for PS3, with like a big collection of like all the other classic games, I always just went back to that game the most over the years and played it a lot on PS3, got ported to PS4, played it a bunch there. It's one of my very, very favorite games. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And this remake is it's great.
Now, I realized you click something in my brain.
Yes.
There's an earlier point that Resident Evil 4 entered my life. My cousin like actually got it new. Which cousin? Billions of them. Who cares which one it was? I know which one, but what added detail is that enriched for any of you guys? No, nothing. Anyways, I remember specifically they played Resident Evil 4 around me. Young, impressionable child. I remember that we were going to go to Schlitterbahn the next day. And I just remember that after watching Resident Evil 4 and then playing it, it was one of the few nights that the game came out in 2005. I was probably 10. Too old to have a nightlight, but I needed a nightlight that night because I remember the Spaniards just, I got to be imbecile. And it's just like, this is freaking me out, man. I need sleep. We're going to Schlitterbahn tomorrow. I cannot have a nightmare before this. So yeah, a little bit earlier. And I remember specifically they had the PS2 version, an early steelbook, the little card that they give you, Ada Wong on the back, separate ways. God, it's weird that that even came back to me. Moki, tell me, how did Resident Evil 4 enter your life?
Despite being like one of the most vocal Resident Evil fans in the server.
But here's the thing. I assume you came to it late, but that's the thing. We associate you the most with it.
So I actually, just the series in general, most of my kind of childhood connections with Resident Evil was playing through the first areas of like Remake on GameCube, some of RE5. And I was also the same cousin thing where my cousin had RE5, so we played like the first probably 3 or 4 chapters co-op, and then he was like,
Oh, hell
he was
yeah.
like, if you're vibing with this, like I gotta show you RE4. So he showed me pretty much most of the village section. But yeah, it wasn't really until RE2 Remake was at the point where it was like, okay, this is a real video game that's gonna, because I know they talked about it for a long time, and then they finally re-revealed it in 2018. We're like, yeah, it comes out in 6 months, by the way. So I was like, oh shit, like this game looks banging. Let me go through and play the original, the OG trilogy, because I had always been fixated on the fixed camera style games, and really wanted to just finally like go through them. I watched videos on them. Everybody on YouTube was talking about Resident Evil and RE4 and whatever. So finally played those. Played RE2 remake, loved it, and then said, okay, I should try and finally play RE4. So it wasn't until 2019 that I first actually
You too.
completed the game, and loved it.
damn.
Even though I'm a RE1 remake fanboy at its heart. It's probably still my favorite in the
Based.
whole series, just because I vibe with the fixed camera so hard. But
Based.
RE4 is just it's a banger, and it's just so arcadey and fun, and the gameplay still holds up. I actually spent all of this week messing through the OG game and replaying it a little bit, because I hadn't really touched it since probably 2020. And after playing so much RE4 remake, I wanted to kind of come back and directly compare to the original. I know Sam decided to opt playing it before, so I kind of pulled the little opposite move than him there.
Yeah, I played it again last year before was it, no, not last year, 2 years ago now for Village. Forgot Village was like 2 years ago now. Played it before Village's release, and then did it yet again before this remake, because I was like, yeah, why not? Like, this is a easy game for me to return to over the years. Like, I know it's a or not remake. Sorry, the original game's been heavily like any older game. Any older game just gets picked apart now, and people are like, oh, this hasn't held up, yada yada. But like, whenever you actually return to some of these games, you're like, oh, wait a minute, like, yeah, sure, stuff's dated, but like the overall experience still holds up very well. And originally I was like kind of against them remaking 4, so I'm glad things
Same.
kind of changed differently.
Now, of course, now that's a perfect segue. How did we feel going into this? Sam, continue on with this pathway.
Yeah.
Once you heard Resident Evil
Mhm.
4 remake, gut reaction, go.
It wasn't even like hearing it initially. It was already like a idea in the back of my mind once Moki said earlier, 2 remake was like forever like this thing that was supposed to happen for many years. Like, it was always like briefly talked about and mentioned. I remember them mentioning it after RE6 came out, and I was already so just like, obviously a little more background on my Resident Evil love. Like, my love for the series died in 2012 with Operation Raccoon City and 6 back to back. I was a very disappointed young man, and very much like, that's when survival horror just kind of like, at least like AAA survival horror, just died. So like, hearing about RE2 remake at that time, I was like, I don't care, like, who, like, what,
Please don't.
don't. And I just like went on with my life for years. Like, 5 years later RE7 came out, and like, pretty much just now we're here, the series is back, and Capcom's doing better than ever. But in terms of like hearing like, once 2 remake came back and was like, oh, like, this is actually a real thing and it is coming out very soon, I was like, they're gonna do 3 remake, which was exciting originally on concept. But RE4, I was like, RE4, I was kind of like, that game still feels really like it's sacred to me. Obviously, like, it's, as I mentioned earlier, it's one of my top 5 of all time, and it's that game is like, for many reasons, it's why I love games to begin with, for many reasons. But so going into this remake, I kept an open mind, but also was like a little hesitant. But the more we saw, like, the chainsaw demo actually kind of like cleared the air for me. That was the moment where I was like, okay, this game's going to be good. I have no doubts that I'll at least enjoy this. But up until the point I was seeing trailers, and I was kind of like, oh, this looks really. It wasn't until we saw gameplay and got the demo that it was officially like, okay, I'm down. Because the very first trailer, it wasn't like enough for me to be sold, is what I'm basically saying here. So yeah, like, walking into it a little, little like,
Trepidatious.
trepidatious. Thank you.
I saw you trying for the word, and I was like,
yeah,
oh,
I was like, yeah, thank you. But anywho, yeah, as for me, yeah, trepidatious, but it paid off in the end.
All right, Moki, talk to me, because I know that you were like, okay, let's see what happens, but I don't know what your thought process was for all of it.
Honestly, I think even more so than that. I was almost a 0% doubter. Uh just because, like I said, like RE2 remake kind of brought me into everything in a big way, and despite being such a fixed camera Chad, the third person shooter gameplay of that game is just so tight. It feels so good walking around with Leon, going
Still
through the
perfect.
corridors, aiming and moving at the same time.
Wait, you're talking about 2
Yeah,
remake,
yeah,
right?
two remake.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
Just and I just I was also down on 3 remake, and even Village. I'm not as high on as a lot of other people, and Village is trying to.
Neither of us.
I'm judging you for 3 slander, but I'm right there back in your pocket with 8.
Just I mean, they were like going for it would just didn't feel like a fully realized game, which is fine. But even despite that, coming off of like 2, I wouldn't call them misses, but 2 lower points for the recent games. Just something about RE4 and the remake style. I feel like they knew they they said that the main development team that was on RE2 remake was on it, and they weren't on 3 remake. So you had the team that already made like a banging game. They know it's RE4, and I just felt like, honestly, the whole time from announcement and even before official announcement, because like everybody knew it was coming. I think there was almost no, at least to me, there was no doubt after 3 remake they were going to do 4.
Yeah.
Like they weren't going to sit on that. Um,
Mhm.
the first thought in my mind was just RE2 remake with a roundhouse kick. And pretty much from that point on, I think I was fully sold in my brain that it was going to bang. Like, I was thinking, okay, maybe the OG will definitively be the better game, because it's hard to be it's hard to beat RE4.
Yeah.
But I definitely expected it to be at minimum good. So
I have to interject with the the RE3 team was on RE4 remake, and then
Yep.
things post RE3 release, they were like, okay, they knew Capcom is pretty good with, for the most part, they seem to be pretty good with feedback. Um, for most of these newer titles, both for Resident Evil and other franchises that are doing well again, that they were like, okay, we're taking extra time, and we're the team that was working on 2 are now like spearheading the project.
At least personally, I was very vehemently against this. I was like, look, you guys did horror well. You guys did 2 great. 3, honestly, I very much enjoyed it. I bought it day 1 with a steelbook, beat it in literally 1 sitting on a Sunday, and I was like, that was fucking great. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to go into a full defense. Basically, what I mean is that between those 2 games, I still didn't want them to touch 4, because I felt like, okay, you guys got the horror down. I am happy for this. Good for you. 4, it don't really be that horror. So like I was like, I'm kind of scared of the tone. I don't know if I trust you guys to do that. The gameplay in 2 and 3 feel right. You're not exactly completely sure whenever you're gonna nail a shot. You hit a zombie and you're like, shit, I don't know. I just had enough things from 2 and 3 that going into 4 and is like, do you guys know what fun is? Or do you guys only know what tension is? So all of that, and then only, I'm telling you guys what you already know, but for the record, Walmart had a pre-order price error, and the game would have been $33. And here's the thing, day 1, $33, sure, why not? Got a pre-order, day came out, and I hadn't got it shipped. God bless Walmart and their employees not caring, because I got it even cheaper at $28. And at $28, at that point, I'm here, I'm playing the game, let's see how I feel about it. But yeah, no, just right off from the offset, as soon as I heard that it was finally announced, I was like, this is a bad idea, man. Just remake bad games, and then from there, we're good. We're good. Don't remake good games and have a chance to screw it up. But I guess now we're gonna go into the segment of actually, speaking about the game. I can't believe they fucking did it. I can't believe they fucking did it. I can't believe I'm still headshotting zombies in the face. I don't care if zombies, granadas, bleh, zombies. I can't believe I'm still headshotting zombies. Not one bullet, a couple of bullets, running up to them and hitting them. I can't believe my knife breaks. I use my knife like it's my best friend in Resident Evil 4, and you're telling me it breaks now? And I kind of love when it breaks. I mean, I'm maybe not loving it breaks. I mean, like I love the implementation of the knife breaking. I I don't understand how I ran through this game like 7 times in the span of like a month. I have the platinum, and I still went. Let me go one more playthrough because I'm enjoying this game so much. I can't believe they did it. So yeah, Moki, talk to me. Where this game go?
Yeah, I love this game. I just, yeah, the same thing. I couldn't put it down. As soon as I finished a run, I was literally going through the credits and then on the main menu just immediately starting up another run, and I earned the platinum myself. It was a very fun journey, and that's just that. I mean, that's I've been that way with every Resident Evil game, though. It's just that feeling of like you beat the game and then you want to go back in immediately with the knowledge you have, and it's just there like it's just such a weird, it's like a switch in your brain that like it's, and I keep talking about RE2, but I can't, where it's like the first time you go through an area, you're like crawling through the hallways, slow turning everything, you peeking around, and then by your fucking like fourth playthrough, you're like sprinting past zombies, like you don't even care about the liquor. Like every spook and scare is gone. You don't have to think about the puzzles anymore. It's almost like playing a completely different game at that point. Your first RE playthrough versus any other, you'll never get that feeling again in a way. Which, I mean, you could think of that as like bittersweet or whatever, but it's a very cool process, I guess. Just kind of knowing the games in and out.
I need to interrupt you just because it's so funny to me. You say how like originally it's terrifying, then you go back and it's like, okay, well, some of the RNG is gonna get here. Oh god, they actually grabbed me. Oh god, now I'm gonna use my knife. I only have 80% of my knife. I don't know if we'll get through. Blah 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 blah. It's
Yeah,
funny
right.
because I think like my second or third playthrough, whenever my wife was watching me, because like I played most of it in the theater room for the first run. Look, it's the first run. It is important. I will have the entire experience. After that, I took it out to the living room because apparently my family misses me or something like that, right? I decided to take it out to the living room, and so I'm doing the village sequence, and the chainsaw man is like right after me, and my wife is watching, and she's terrified for me. She's like, "No, I don't want to see you die again." And I'm just like, "Oh, whatever." Like, I got a grenade, I got a flash grenade, I got to manage all this. Oh my god, I got to go pick up some pesetas over there. Oh man, am I gonna have enough spindles for be able to think? Like, she's terrified for all this, and I'm just like, "Oh god, I gotta think about the numbers and stuff." It's exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, it's crazy. But the game over, I love every section. Just village, castle, mines, island. Like I think in this there is really, and it's nice. I like how they broke it up too into just clean 16 chapters. No like one two weird like act structure. It's just nice having it all feel like one continuous story and not kind of more segmented. But thinking back, there's really like no chapter that I could think is like a hard miss. You
Oh,
know, I think I genuinely had fun going through every section. And I mean, there were definitely parts where I'm like, okay, this is a frustrating room or area or encounter. But I think once I got a few playthroughs in, most things I felt I had a decent grasp on kind of handling. So it just kind of all became fun after that.
Uh, yeah, I'm just gonna echo a lot of the same points as you guys. Probably, like it was nice to have my doubts wrong, is what I'm about to say, because like
yes.
the chainsaw demo kind of alleviated all that, but like playing the actual game, I'm pretty much with you. Like it, there's really no part of the game I genuinely dislike on like a gameplay level at all. Um, as an like as an overall experience, I don't think this replaces the original. Um, but it
Yes.
complements it, and I think you can either just you can play either of these games in either order. Like you can play the remake first and go back and then, contrast and compare, or you can play the original first and then jump into the remake after. Like these two, this remake doesn't exist to replace the most ported game of all time. It merely exists to just pay respect and coexist as just as a reminder that this game is kind of like it's just held, quite the test of time for video games, and just an absolutely like you said too about just like multiple playthroughs, like this whole first playthrough. So I haven't played it as extensively as you guys have. Unfortunately, I've been very busy, but
Autistically.
yeah, not as autistically either. But I've only gotten the chance to play like do two playthroughs, and it like even then the time I really want to go back and do the platinum at some point, but we'll see when I can even do that. But as for the two playthroughs, yeah, just a total blast. Like playing it on hardcore for the first time was genuinely challenging, and then doing it just on assisted mode, having that just feeling almighty powerful badass on that second playthrough was just so much fun, and
Complete menace.
just absolute menace. And as an overall remake too, that does exist to not replace the original. The changes they made are ones that made sense because it's a modern game, and they're removing elements that wouldn't make sense to just completely one-to-one do again, like obviously dropping QTs and a lot of that kind
Thank
of
God.
yeah, a lot of that kind of stuff. um and yeah, like small mechanic changes, like the knife in this game works just completely different from the original. Like the knife in the original game was kind of like you're saving grace from having
Oh, thank God. Okay.
Ganados getting back up, and in this remake it's a similar way, but it's more so because enemies are actually grabbing you, and like death is like inches away. Like if you play this game even on normal, like ignoring hardcore, it's like you can't really have that power fantasy on standard. It's still like a balanced experience where enemies are coming at you fast. You got to react fast, and you got to keep your distance, or if you're going to go in for those kicks, you got to go in quick. And it's just in ways elevated experience of the original gameplay from that 2005. It's wonderful. I adore this remake, and I also think in terms of just broadly talking about Capcom, like with their revival of Resident Evil, which has been hit and miss for me. Um, this is easily the best thing they've put out for me personally. I totally understand those who will say like, oh, two, they still prefer two remake, or they really love seven. Like seven, seven was a big moment for somebody like me for sure, because I was already done with the franchise by that point. But RE4 remake just absolutely, I'm like, yep, this just set a new bar for both remakes and for this series again. So good
Anyone
job.
out there who would say that about 3, just know that I see you. Even if these two don't see you, I see you.
Right. But yeah, I adore it.
Now, there's one thing I gotta mention, because I am okay. Moki, you use the knife in original Resident Evil 4, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank God.
We're all
I swear
smart
to
here.
God. No. Like I've seen this. I've seen this in I think Cosmonaut is the main one who I can think of. Watching his YouTube video, and he's like, they made the knife useful,
Oh my
and I
God.
fucking almost spat out my dinner. I was like, what the fuck do you
It's
mean?
it's really telling to me that like like to whoever's played the original game, and when they heavily criticize it, they just simply don't understand that the
No,
arsenal
he
they
likes both. I have to
yeah
admit,
yeah
he
yeah yeah
likes both.
I find it funny for those who have criticized the original game. You ask them like, okay, like how did you approach the gameplay, and it's like they're like, oh, I never used the knife, and you're like, oh, well, that explains a lot.
I look. That's almost on the same level to me as not using melees. Like, how
Yeah
are you even playing this
yeah
video game? Are you literally just shooting? Are you like, oh, I'm running out of ammo? How? 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 Kill things. Shoot them in the head. Run up.
well,
Kick them.
what's
Stab them.
What's even
Repeat.
funnier? What's even funnier is like people before this new remake came out. There was like discourse around like stuff they were either going to add or remove, and people were like, "Yeah, remove like that famous gauntlet room where you have to have like help up Ashley," and like I'm just like, okay, so like
That's the best design part of the game.
that is like one of the best moments in the original game, because it's like it's a challenging like gauntlet. It's it's enthralling, it's exciting, it's terrifying, and you're not like, you got to worry about yourself and Ashley. Like, it's actually like kind of how they did it in the original. Even in this remake, it's pretty genius both times.
Like, they
And
don't change almost anything about it. It's perfect.
yeah, it's perfect as is. It's like, that's the thing about this remake, is like, the things, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But in this remake, the things that were like areas they could improve, they did, which is like, even like, it's just incredibly impressive.
Milky, go for it. I feel like you're about to say something.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking about kind of yeah, what they changed, what they kept in. I'm just thinking about RE4 OG, and really most of the village section, for the most part, it doesn't have anything cut really. It has the little like the ski lift part, and so instead of the double chainsaw fight, remember, you like go down the ski lift thing, shoot some guys, you fight Mendez down there, and then that's how you get to the castle. But uh four had the remake has the fucking double chainsaw sisters, which is just an insane. That was one encounter that no matter what playthrough I was doing, I was always dreading it in like a challenge, not in like a bad design way, but in like a, this is not going
Like,
to be
this
easy.
is gonna make me sweat.
Like, I have to put in some mental effort on this, a little extra sauce on it. But it's just, that's a great encounter too, and I think like I said, the whole flow of the game, it just really, every room encounter kind of seems to flow into each other. The pacing is just perfect, pretty perfect in my opinion. I mean, there's
Yes.
two slowish sections, but they did a really good job of not just playing the original again. One thing I noticed is that there's a lot of areas that you're kind of just hard stopped in there because you're pushing blocks around, you're pushing statues. Like, it's a lot slower pace, but that's, it's an older game and whatnot. But overall, I'd say the castle and the mines are probably the most deviated from the OG. The island a little bit too, but
yeah, I was about to say, the island is like, it's actually good now. Like, I enjoy the
well,
island.
it's good because they
Yeah.
cut out the fat in the island, because
Yes.
most of the
Yes.
parts that are in there were in the original, and then they just cut kind of the more tedious and like the turning the crane into kind of a big battle arena, and cutting the, when Ashley, she like drives, like, it's like a bulldozer thing, it's like a big compactor, and then you just kind of like shoot the guys from the back as Leon.
Yeah.
It's just like
that's a very
on rails,
arcadey, yeah.
boring kind of. So making it kind of this bigger open area where you have to defend Ashley in the crane. I thought that, even though that encounter was also kind of insane, but I'm glad that they give you a skip if you choose to use it. Just everything they updated felt very sensible, and like Sam said, like, it's definitely not a replacement. It's not that those parts in the old game are necessarily bad. They're just different, and a different tone and vibe of game. It's more gamey game versus like modern
Product
game.
of its time.
And product of the time. So I'm just very happy with all the kind of modern, like, adding a parry mechanic, and just every
Oh, how have we not mentioned that? Oh
I
my
know, I
god!
didn't realize-
despite
Oh!
the
Greatest
knife
change.
changes, just adding a damn parry to the game, parry to any game, and you're like, that's like a 20% boost to the gameplay.
Yes.
Maybe even like 50% boost to the fun of the gameplay. A very well-meaning, well-working, well-balanced parry does wonders.
The moment
Moki, I was speaking to you about my professional playthrough, and we were talking about how it's perfect parries and all that. I'm gonna tell you right now that how like, you talked to me about how the enemies that fucking grab you are the worst ones. You would think that if they have a weapon, like, if you have a weapon, somehow you're a better enemy. But if you're just grabbing, it's like you are the worst enemy to fight, and I am fucked. What I just had to say involving with the parry, when you perfect parry a grabbing zombie and both of their arms get chopped off. Oh my, and then it goes immediately into a melee. And like it's like you parry them and you can melee them. Oh my god, it's perfection. Sam, I cut you off. Go for it.
No, I was just to say the moment they revealed the parry in the trailer is where
That
Yes.
was
I was like, they
yes.
showed like the chainsaw parry. I went, that was that initial gameplay demo reveal of the village where that's where my worries kind of went aside, and I was like, and as someone who fucking adores action games, to be, Devil May Cry for starters from Capcom, and then games like the From Software games where there is a lot of them use the parry mechanic in different ways. That just immediately in my brain, it's like how we see a grapple hook in games now, and you're like, ooh, like you're like, but for this game in particular, it was like, holy shit. It was a holy shit moment.
My god.
The biggest soy moment in recent
Yes.
gameplay reveals, and having how it just feels like it just immediately clicked on like initial like the first enemy you run into, or one of the very first encounters in this remake, where you get to like really try out the knife itself against an enemy, where like they come at you with like a pitchfork or something. You're like like when it lands and they fall back and you can go in for like the kick or stab, it's just like yeah, just it's just perfect.
They integrated the little they added that little building next to the valley that's just like the knife tutorial building.
Yeah.
Like that's not in the original game.
No,
And it's
no,
just
no,
a
not at all.
perfect little tutorial of like, okay, well, and besides a parry, they added a little stealth. There's a little sneaking. Leon can, sneak up on Ganado and stab him. Nice free stealth kill. So it's
Which, by the way, look, I just had to bring this up. You put that shit in most games, I'm groaning. Just shitty stealth.
Yep.
Oh, I can't believe you guys are doing this. Stealth games are dead, and you're just pissing on the corpse. I'm telling you, man, some of these fucking playthroughs, when I had no ammo, I was just crouching down. I'm like, I gotta get this
Right.
stab, man. Please, I'm sorry, I need to.
It works very well for like a game with heavy resource management, and just everything they changed about the knife just adds another layer into resource management, because you need to choose how much are you going to use your knife in an encounter, because you might need it later. It breaks, you have to spend pesetas to repair it. You can pick up breakable knives, but they don't do as much damage. They just added so many extra layers of like decision making, which is just, it makes it all the better.
Dude, I look like a fucking traveling knife salesman by the time I was done with most of my fucking runs, because I'm like, I have like 15 kitchen knives, I got a boot knife. I'm like, dude, I am not running out of fucking knives, okay? Because if some reason there's gonna be a chainsaw man in this next chapter and I need to block him, I am not gonna fucking die here. Oh my god, I can't believe the parry. And going back to the reveal, I gotta admit, man, like that was the moment where I was like, okay, maybe you guys might be doing something. Because like, oh dude, I saw that and I just imagine the most soy pog YouTube thumbnail you can think of. That popped out of my face, and then I had to pull myself back because I'm like, no, they might fuck it up still. They might fuck it up still.
I could picture you doing it.
Look, you have you been in a voice channel with me for that Nintendo
yes,
show?
we
cool.
All
right, yeah.
together, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Just imagine that. Like it sneaks out and then I pull it back. That's exactly how it was when I saw that parry.
Yeah, it was really a like whichever like designer or dude in like a conference room said, yo, what if we gave Leon a parry? Like, I hope that guy got like the fattest bonus ever.
Yes, I hope that man.
It's got Japan, so like
raise.
they were probably like, okay, good job, you did your job. Okay, move on.
No. That man, I think you're underselling it. I hope that this man ends up becoming 10% of Japan's future population, okay? That is what I want.
He's like
man,
Miyazaki, okay? They just made him president of the company immediately.
Yeah. Oh no, I love the idea that like Capcom has an office right next to From, and then Miyazaki is just like, oh man, like I'm at Chipotle, these people are using these knives so poorly. Imagine if they could just like parry it off the lettuce, and there's a Capcom designer like, I got it.
Oh, it just to what even Moki said earlier, or it might have been you, Ed, or just how like a one little change to this, like a little change like that is so like impactful on the core experience. It almost it just recontextualizes the whole like gameplay loop and experience, and having
Unless you're stupid and didn't use your knife.
yes,
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
there's definitely people that probably didn't use their knife in this remake
I
the way
can't
it
get
was
over
intended.
that.
Like I know for a fact if people didn't use it the way it was built in the original game, I know for a fact people didn't use it the way it was intended in this remake, and it's
What a sad existence.
very very entertaining regardless of what you think. But yeah, like it's just like it's nice too that Capcom also made a remake of a game that just kind of shows to the the current landscape of AAA games itself that I think a lot of AAA games just forgot that they kind of need to be games and have a great gameplay loop.
Please stop. Please don't. No, you're baiting me. Please don't.
But like general, like this kind of game like reminded me, I'm like, oh right, like you can have this very showy, stylish presentation, but at the end of the day, it's like you're going for the like this incredible, intense, and exciting, enthralling, and horrifying, and but very ridiculously over the top gameplay experience that like never gets old.
Like, I think what you're saying right now is kind of why I prefer this one over the original. That's
No,
kind of
that's
insane
fair.
to say, but I
I
mean, like, the gameplay changes. Like, I can't. The knife parry, the
I
guns
get
feel
it.
so good.
I get it.
Yeah,
This
it's
isn't.
Oh my
completely
god.
valid.
It's completely valid, and like I mentioned earlier, it's the original game already means so much to me, so it's really hard to replace that. You can't like I knew going into this game, I'm like, walking out of it as high as I did, I wasn't expecting, but I knew walking into it, I'm like, okay, this is going to be good. I'm not expecting it to have the same impact it did when I was very, very young and got into the games and was trying to, figure out how games even worked more often and, like lightning in a bottle twice kind of thing. But the fact that it came pretty damn near close to like reminding me of like why I love games to begin with in a remake, that's something I hold like this dearly beloved is like pretty, it's astounding. Like this is probably currently my new favorite remake of any game as well. I haven't played Dead Space yet for context because a lot of people highly praise that one too.
Same, and I'm kind of terrified to play it with how high I am on Resident Evil 4 because, they
Very
came out
different
close to
games,
each
yeah.
other. Yeah, no, I know, but like, I look for the record, when I play Dead Space, I'm either going to like it or you're never going to hear about it again. I'm,
So
I
Right.
you didn't
refuse.
play the OG?
No,
Oh my. Okay.
I
Ooh.
played the OG.
Ooh, that's spicy. Okay.
Yeah.
I'd be very interesting to hear about when that happens because
Mhm.
I
Dead
think
Space also it just has such a good gameplay loop.
It
It's
does.
I've
not it's
heard.
not it's not headshotting and roundhouse kicking. It's its own thing, but it almost feels like that same type of satisfaction. It never really gets old. So
I could agree
I
with that.
tried it for like an hour or so on Xbox One, which that was my first mistake. Xbox One.
yeah, fair.
But look, I'm just gonna say this. This is maybe gonna be my saving grace. I love how Isaac stomps on shit. I love how this man puts his entire soul into the
Yes.
heel of his boot and just. All right, I'm gonna move the microphone on this one because I know it might be loud. I fucking love it. Like, you don't understand. I would just have this man stomping all across the Ishimura for like the hour, just like he wouldn't walk, he would just stomp everywhere.
Mad
But
Isaac.
like again, I'm terrified. I'm terrified. Hold on, someone's offering me for my Final
Collector's
Fantasy
edition
Pixel remaster.
update.
Oh.
Breaking news.
Oh, hold on, breaking news. They offered $590, which means I would earn $513. I might revisit that because I have someone who's trying to buy it for $550.
Damn.
Sorry, that's just an aside. I'm sorry, deals never stop.
These are important.
One thing I'll
Games.
bring up is the animations in these remakes are
Amazing.
so the animation work is so good, and not in like a fidelity like this, just how everything feels, the weight of the gameplay, the physics of it all, and just the enemy animations, how the kind of like in RE2 remake, the zombies kind, they shamble, they stagger back and forth, and it makes it all the harder to aim and hit them and stuff. And the Ganado are the same way. They're not to like. I'm not bashing on a 2-decade-old game, but literally, the Ganado just kind of stand up straight and walk right at Leon. So
Yeah.
it's more of an arcadey experience, and with the RE2 remake gameplay and the RE engine stuff, like they're ducking and diving and like just they're I'm sure there's a very limited set of animations, but it looks seamless. Like you kind of can't predict at all what they're gonna do.
Having them charge at you is just enough of like, holy shit! All right.
Oh, dude, the first time they run for you, you're like, oh my god, they don't just like reach out; they will actually dash at you.
They dash at you. They like, they'll come at you with weapons, and I'm glad like they not only still throw weapons at you, but you can still. By the way, not only shoot the weapons like you could in the original, you can fucking parry the weapons. I parried a damn Molotov.
Yes!
I parried a Molotov.
Like that's insane.
It's so ridiculous. It's awesome.
It's amazing.
All the tiny little interactions and nuances of where you shoot an enemy, what you're shooting at, how it bounce, like it's insane. Like, shooting an axe out of the air and you watch it like fall and drop out of the air, which you could do in the OG.
It breaks gravity. You hit the bullet and it just falls to the ground. It feels so good.
But I was going to mention, I did stream. Unfortunately, I didn't save the VOD because I forgot to, and also Twitch changed their stupid rule thing. I thought it was 14 days, but now they get rid of my VODs in under like 7. It's really annoying. Because Twitch is garbage. But I streamed my entire playthrough of RE4 Remake the weekend it came out, and I finished it that weekend and just like almost barely took breaks in between. But like the moment I did parry that Molotov was like
oh my god,
whoever was so watching heard me just like absolutely lose my shit, and like just as to mention earlier from the soying, we soyed.
Oh my god, dude! I think I didn't do it until like my professional playthrough. So
shit! I did it right. Dude. I did it right when God, it was like just before
after the church.
Yeah, it was just
same place.
It might have been there, or it was like just before you run into like just before you run into. And he got this.
Oh, okay.
And, like you find Luis like hidden in a bag, like one of them has like a flamethrower or something. And
you did that early.
Yeah. It was pretty. Yeah, it might not have been a Molotov, but it might have been a fire arrow. Excuse me, that I parried back first. Then it was a Molotov later.
Wait, you can parry back an arrow.
Yes.
I thought you would just stop it and it would fall. Holy shit, that's awesome.
Actually the first thing that happened too. So that happened before the Molotov.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Yeah, I was like trying to remember. I was like, wait a minute, what happened first? It's like, no, the fucking fire arrow went back and killed the bitch, and it was amazing. Who kept shooting at me, and I was getting mad. I was like, fuck off.
Realism is a cancer in video games. I need more. Oh my god, you can parry back a flaming arrow in something that's trying to go photorealistic as Resident Evil 4. I love this. I love this game.
It's got
Oh my god. All right. I know we're probably gonna keep talking about the gameplay because like
it's so hard not to talk about the gameplay and just sort of like just our own kind of experiences of like the most ridiculous shit that probably just happened. But it's like that's one of the first things I could think of where I was like, with that moment of like this was just like waiting for people to find playing this.
Yeah. Oh my god. We need more interactivity. Yeah, yes. Whatever. That's the word we're gonna go over. We need more interactivity with things and systems in games. I don't want a bullet to just fly through the air. I want to be able to throw a fucking grenade at the bullet and the bullet hits it and it blows up. Okay, like I need more shit like this. I need to fight a regenerator. He grabs me, I run away, and this man busts out 2 more regenerators because he needs backup. All right, like I need more dumb shit like this. I need more emergent gameplay, even in something that can be as linear as Resident Evil.
No,
like please.
It is kind of wild how much I guess I'll call it like contextual detail there is in this game. There's so many little like it's I mean if there's things like using the rocket launcher, there's multiple skips in the areas that are it's just kind of like a hey, this area typically gets blown up. What if I use a rocket launcher that I can buy on it? Will it still let me blow it up? And it
It
does.
treats it the same
And it treats it
way.
the same
It's
way.
not like just the yes.
And there's so many little yeah, I don't know. There's details. So in the double gigante fight, if um if you kill them both before Lewis gets the dynamite, he has a little line commenting on that.
Yeah.
That's
Like
amazing.
he'll be like, "What the hell? Like no fun for me." And there's so many more moments like that where if you kind of sequence break or do something that wasn't the intended, they almost most of the time there is little like Ashley will say stuff. There's so much little detail, which is nice. It's nice to think of something, try it, and then it actually works.
It's so nice that there are the little things and gameplay isn't sacrificed.
Yes.
Wow! Imagine that! Imagine if you didn't have to have a fucking Ubisoft world for the little details. Fucking imagine that!
I just love they
Getting
kept
angry
in.
needlessly.
I just love they also kept in Ashley's little like what is it motion. She kind of like does like a little like woo like when Leon
Her
gets like a
little like
headshot.
fist pump thing.
Yeah, the fist pump. Yeah. She does that in the original, but like you do it. I didn't notice it right away in the remake just because of how like the camera's positioned. But like once she was in frame, and I was just like, oh, she did it. She did it.
Oh, dude, anytime that you have a companion and you take him to the shooting range, oh my god.
Oh my god.
Wait, have we not talked about the shooting range?
There's just so much to. Oh my god. Yeah, we're gonna hit the 2-hour time limit.
No, we're not. I swear to God, we're not going to. Well, I mean, okay, we might. I just mean like we're not going to run out of time.
No, we're not gonna run out of time.
I mean.
But the goddamn shooting range, best goddamn shooting range in God knows how long, maybe ever. Please just take it away from here before I start rambling.
The music. As soon as I realized that the extra section was the original opening theme of the game, I was like, oh, all of you fucking love Resident Evil 4. All of you are such Resident Evil 4 dorks that you did a remix of the original, like, Spanish sounding song from the original game. What is wrong with all of you? I love all of you. Oh my god, I can't believe that all the little charms. By the way, the charms on a case, I fucking love it. It's just a little tiny. It's a little nice garnish on top of an already delicious dinner, and they're all like just these little miniature figures of their original models from the original. It's perfect. It's like, whoever that man is, I hope he was also in line at the Chipotle and gets a raise. Okay, like oh my god, I love it so much. It's something that like I only did on my first playthrough because everything afterwards was like, I gotta go, man. Do you realize how much in a rush I am? But oh, it's so
what
good.
Modern games even bother doing this kind of like fun side stuff that like totally detracts from like from the main game, but not in a way where, much like in the original, it doesn't like, doesn't break up the flow or pacing. Like if you don't want to, for some reason, for some God knows who reason, you don't want to do these shooting range things, then yeah, like you could totally just skip on. But why would you? Like, so well thought out on a challenge level. Like they're fun to just like keep doing to break your own high score and get the 100% and get those extra tokens for those little charms to put on this case. Like God, like I haven't had that much fun just like the amount of time I just sat there trying them over and over again and doing them and trying to get all the tokens. I was like, wait, how long have I been here?
Wait, okay, hold on. Shout out to how quickly it loads when you fail, though.
Yes.
Like,
oh my god,
gives you
yes.
the score, you go back, you jump in, you like 2 seconds. Almost. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to me, a shooting range, it's a puzzle. It's a puzzle with gameplay. You have to figure out what it's asking of you, because there's definitely little like, especially with the ones that like have multiple weapons, you're kind of figuring out which weapon do you need in what situation, and then you have to execute on that. I mean, obviously you're aiming and shooting, but it's nice that there's a little bit of, you got to use your brain like a little bit. It's a nice come up, I guess.
Okay, now update on the Final Fantasy VII Pixel Remaster. The original guy, 550 guy, he got back to me and he said that he is in. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the asshole thing and talk to the people on Mercari and be like, the price is 550, motherfuckers. It's got to be higher now. No, you don't understand, man. I'm playing. Oh, dude, I'll play people against each other. Okay, that's how I sold the Leon statue and the art book for $280, which was like $7 more than just the straight up collector's edition, and I got to keep the collector's steelbook. So,
speaking of boy and selling,
wonderful transition. What are you buying?
What are you
Got some rare things on sale, stranger.
So obviously he's not like he's not the original guy.
It's not the original guy. But
it's not the original guy.
He's still so good.
But yeah, I personally think he did a great job. The new shopkeeper.
Yes.
That was awesome.
The new merchant. Sorry.
Oi!
Hey, yeah, his all of his dialogue with the shooting range is really, really good.
Oh, dude, I remember I accidentally went down one of the elevators. So, like, I went down there. I was like, oh, shit, no, this is one of my fast playthroughs. I gotta get out of here. And I walked back out, and he's like, oh, I set up all this. What's going on?
Oh, my God, yeah. He did have a little, like, he had, like a break, breaks over when you, like, walk up to his place.
Oh, breaks over, I guess.
I think my favorite line of his in the he was like, how did we procure these curious?
What's that? How did we procure one of these oddities?
You don't want to know, mate.
All right, now here's the fun part about editing. I'm gonna make sure that the three of us almost say that in unison. This is gonna add like an extra 10 or 20 minutes to editing time, but it's gonna be worth it.
No, the game, there's so many zingers, and that's a part of that was definitely one part of like, oh, they're remaking RE4 is like, what are they gonna keep in terms of the camp, the cheesy lines or whatever. And in RE2 and RE3, they had some zingers. There were some moments, so I wasn't like that concerned that they were gonna cut too much or like change anything, but I felt like the script overall is almost not comparable, despite it still having cheese. Like, feel completely separate, in a good or a bad way. Just it is none replaces the other. They're just two completely different takes on these characters, just in kind of a similar framework, you know.
Yeah, like,
here's the thing.
Go for it.
I love him more in Remake just because there's so many more lines. Like, it just feels like it would be the exact same guy, except now he's from South Africa. I don't know,
it's Australian.
More of a pirate.
Yes. Why does he just like pirates? Why is he like pirates? I don't know. It's fucking cool.
But yeah, just all the characters, like all the character differences and it works. And the villains got shafted the most. Sadler and Salazar definitely got the biggest shaft. I think it would have been nice to have one or two moments with them like hijacking Leon's FaceTime device and actually, like, I think they could have kept one of those in, because just playing the OG again, the Sadler Leon banter throughout the game
it's so
good. And like Sadler's like saying shit, and then Leon makes a quip, and Sadler, like, he acknowledges and respects the joke. Like, he laughs at it and is like, "Oh, Leon, like, you are so fucked. Keep talking,
jokester."
But he literally laughs at like every joke, like when he's like, "You're small time, Sadler."
Yeah,
and, like, he laughs at that. So the Krauser got a little bit of an upgrade though, which is nice.
Krauser.
All right, hold on. Look.
Oh.
They turned the knife cutscene. That was just the hardest quick time event in the entire fucking game into a mini boss fight. Again, I hope that man is also in the line at the Chipotle, because it's fucking, oh my, it didn't hit me until we got there, and then it passed me on to gameplay, and I was like, oh my god, this is the cutscene, oh my god, like, I started losing my fucking mind. I love the parry up to this point, and now they put me on a boss fight that I have to pay.
Do you think the parry idea actually came from them being like, starting like immediately development and being like, wait, how are we doing like anything with Krauser this time? And they went, oh my god,
Yeah,
like
right.
the so much of the like you learning the knife mechanics up to this point of the game is like challenged in the Krauser fight. And it's such a, and like you said, like Krauser got like a big upgrade in this remake where he's like, it just
You remember that fight in the jungle?
like he's almost like
We had to fight for our
Krauser's
lives.
like he's almost a Metal Gear villain in this game. It's great. Like he's just so campy and ridiculous, and he also has this like weird attachment to Leon, like he did in the original game, but like more so.
He's
It's emphasized
he's
more in this
Revolver
remake.
Ocelot if he got
Yeah,
obsessed with knives instead of
yeah,
revolvers.
he's got an obsession with knives instead of it's like it's just awesome because like once I got to that point in the the first fight with him in the remake, I knew immediately I was like, this is the excuse why the parries in the game is to have these fights with Krauser and more so like it's awesome.
I want you guys to know that I pulled up a video, right?
Right.
And it's 33 minutes of all merchant quotes.
Oh my god, that's insane.
Yeah.
No, there is just so much dialogue in the game. It's crazy, and I mean, just like Leon and Ashley have a lot more like chitter chatter between them in between areas. You're not just kind of like walking around to the next scene and then you hear him talk or whatever. And Leon's throwing out zingers all the time. Ashley's got some hit lines. Like everybody's firing them off.
Oh, hold on. I got to another quote right here. It just reminds me of how stupid I am. A lot of times I would talk to the merchant and I wouldn't buy anything. So a lot of times I got the next time buy something, eh? But then adding on to that, a lot of times I would just spam the button whenever I would buy shit. So one of the lines I got very often was, I'm afraid without the proper funds, I am afraid we don't have a deal, stranger. It's so good. Oh my god. Okay, I gotta close the tab because if not, the next like 2 hours is just gonna be me like, that line too.
The one line I remember getting a lot was whenever you went to, I think it's whenever you go to tune up your weapons, he would just say like something about like, oh, fine tuning your weapons, but like at the end of the day, it's always like you, the shooter. Like he was just insulting you for like being like maybe you're just bad at shooting.
No, like you would be upgraded. He'd be like, you can upgrade these weapons for a lack of skill.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. And I was like, what the fuck did you just say to me?
Oh, dude. Oh, I love whenever you'd fully upgrade a gun. He would just be like, it's a veritable on, mate. Like he's so genuinely excited that you have 31 spindles to be able to upgrade your knife. Like, I love it.
Oh, it's so good.
By the way, one of my favorite merchant spots is right before the regenerators. You know that guy that runs out of like the oven and he's like completely
the
on
flaming
fire?
guy.
Yeah, one of my favorite things is like once I had like weapons and I wasn't scared of using ammo, I shot him and I realized, oh, like that's an actual enemy and they're just on fire. Like you can shoot them and it'll stop them. So one of my playthroughs when I was running through, I shot him really quickly so he would just stop and then fall to the ground so I wouldn't have to step to the side. It was funny because like in my screen I can see the guy on fire still and I see the merchant and it just kind of clicked in my head. It's like everyone on this island is just like really cool with the merchant. Like there's a zombie right there. Like the zombie could have just like gone over and fucked with the merchant, but like everyone's like, no, guys,
He's
come on.
cool.
Salazar said we don't touch that guy, okay? He says he's cool, all right? He specifically keeps the golden eggs out of the castle, okay? He's cool. God, I love the fucking golden egg trick as well.
Oh my god, yeah, the gold egg. It's so good. It's such a nice little detail.
It's so ridiculous, especially because it has a side quest tied to it. And so, like, it's there. Like, the game kind of, like, tells you. It's, like, a little bit of a hint. Like, why don't you try it? And then finding out that it's actually really useful. It's, oh, my God. It's stuff like that in this game. It wants you to have fun. That's what it is.
Yeah, another thing they added since you mentioned it, the side quests I actually thought were fun because...
side quests.
Like, I actually didn't mind the whole like spindle system. Like in the original, you just would shoot those medallions, and it like if you found them all from the whether or not you had the treasure map or whatever, you'd get like the rewards in the shop, and those rewards came free in the original, whereas like this one it was like more of a no, you really want to find and get those spinels so you can trade for like the ultimate upgrade ticket. The red dot site, by the way, holy shit, as soon as I unlocked that, that was like a like just an enhancement that was got like I was like just felt so nice to have, even if it didn't work on every pistol. But just a fun little reward system to include in the gameplay loop, and also to kind of like get you to actually explore more of each area. Which in this remake, like earlier mentioned about like just kind of keeping the village very much almost 1-to-1, but also still the village itself felt really well expanded in ways, so that you could like go around, look for treasures, and find any notes or secrets that you might find along the way, to really just like, despite how linear the game is and how fast you can probably run through it on subsequent replays, I found myself just slowly exploring like each area and trying to find as much as I could, even though I didn't like 100% find everything on a first run. It was
No,
really cool.
they definitely added a nice amount of like the areas looping back into themselves in a
Yes.
very nice, seamless way, while promoting exploration. And yeah, the little side quests definitely helped a lot in terms of just getting a little bit more out of an area. It always felt like you were never out of stuff to do. You were always looking for
Yeah.
something, whether it was for a side quest or just kind of going out of your way for treasure or whatnot. They just added like an extra layer of depth to everything that the OG game had, and it all works. It's amazing that it all just works so well, and nothing feels like tacked on. Nothing feels really like out of balance or out of tone with the game.
Yes.
It's just it's perfect.
Nailing
It's so good. Adding
legacy.
little like
Yeah.
mini bosses to like it's so nice. They thought of everything.
Yeah, there was a side quest with the did you I'm assuming you guys did the Golden Knight side quest then,
Yeah, the Gold
going
Knight,
back. Yeah.
Yes.
the enhanced Iron
Oh wait,
Maiden.
hold on. The being able to actually see the Gold Knight in your Ashley
Yeah.
segment. Like I saw him
Oh,
and I
right,
saw
right,
his
yeah.
red
You're like,
eye
this
and
fucking
I'm
guy.
like, I don't trust this fucking guy. I'm going to come back and he's going to kill me. And then I never thought about it. And then it wasn't until the side quest popped up I was like, I fucking knew it.
Yeah, having played it just like 3 days ago, the Ashley section is incredibly I forgot how just kind of like tedious it is in the OG
Ugh.
game. It's not satisfying at all.
It's a pace
It's
breaker.
such a pace breaker. That's just one of those moments where it's slow, you're pushing shit around, you're just like not doesn't feel good.
It's not
But in
great.
this
Yeah. Go for
in
it.
this they made it work really well in terms of like you're go. I mean, you're going through the library, you're opening shit up.
Also, the skip is like,
Yeah,
so
they
good.
baked in a nice little skip if you've already played the game before, because there's a puzzle right at the beginning that if you know the solution to the puzzle, you can just skip the first half where it's you getting the solution to the puzzle. And it's nice. It's just there's so much thoughtfulness. They know that speed running is a big part of the identity of the series, so it's nice to see them kind of incorporate little things, little skips like that for if you have the knowledge. But also the Ashley section has probably one of my favorite line reads in the whole game. And it's
Oh.
literally just when you get down to that Golden Knight room and you start activating the knights, and she just says, "This sucks."
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like it's such a perfect line read. It's so good. It's like the most convincing "this sucks" I've ever heard from somebody in that kind of perilous situation. Like it, people
I got it.
people
Go
never
for it.
like people being afraid and fearful. And it's just like on top of the dialogue, they kept so much of the 2000s charm. When she like her saying "this sucks" feels very 2000s. Like
Yes.
when she says "skills" when Leon catches her, like there's definitely a nice little bit of that.
All right, so I thought you were gonna mention the I'm so tired of nights. Didn't I say I was just sick of them?
Oh yeah, that was a good
Yeah.
little moment too.
This is This is the difference between flirting and harassment. If I heard Black Widow say that shit, I'd be fuming. But I hear that shit here, and I'm just like, oh, honey, you're beautiful. Keep doing this. By the way, just we've been dancing around it, and the problem is every time we talk about the gameplay, we just end up getting pulled back in that direction. How do we feel about the character changes? I think we can all kind of agree that Sadler is a miss compared to the original.
It's hard for
Yeah.
me not to miss
He was-
Jarl Balgriff.
Yeah, the voice actor alone, but yeah, there just wasn't that much Sadler. He was just kind of like evil, imposing guy.
Yeah.
Not like I mentioned earlier, not having the little banter between him and Leon definitely kind of takes more out of it.
Sadler not having his hat was sad. Or Salazar, sorry.
Salazar.
Salazar.
Yeah,
sorry.
you're right. And it's
yeah.
okay. You know, whenever you get to like the gigantic statue of him in the remake, and he looks so ridiculous looking up at him that I'm like, okay, he's still really fucking doofy.
Oh,
though.
he's still goofy and it's fun, and like his fight is fun even if like you don't get as many interactions with him. I do, however, appreciate so like you know how he speaks on the whatever like speaker system he has.
Yeah.
So in the original game, there's that cutscene where like Leon shoots it, and
yes,
like he's like ah, and then like
it hurts his
it hurts his ear, and he hacks into his his Kodak call later. But if you shoot it in the remake, anytime he starts speaking out of those, he stops speaking, and he just makes a laugh and he stops speaking. I thought that was really like just a nice little funny touch, because I was playing it live on stream and he started speaking and I just went, shot it, and I just started laughing because I was like, oh, nice. At least
he's like, I know what you're doing.
Like just like a little wink and nod, I guess, there, which is really nice. And in terms of like character changes and stuff, every change just kind of made sense for the most part. Like again, like maybe I wanted more out of Sadler and Salazar, but like Krauser got more. Lewis got like the biggest improvement because you just get more of him because he's not in it enough in the original game. And I was so happy to know, like, going into this, I'm like, oh yeah, Lewis is easily going to be in this more, and we're going to get like more banter between him and Leon. It's be a jolly old time, and it is a jolly old time, with especially in the minecart section. And even Ashley too. Like, I still love, again, like I love the original game for different reasons that aren't like for the same reasons I love this remake, but I do love like the very campy, annoying Ashley in the original, because it just fits her and Leon's banter and exchanges are so different in the original, where like Leon's like, like there's that moment where they jump down like the trash chute. She's like, no way, Leon, way. And like it's like a bottomless dark pit, like they can't even see what's down there, so they could have just jumped to their death.
Yeah, that lead point. Part is there's definitely a few like insane parts in the OG game.
Yeah,
the castle having there's just in the room in the middle of this castle, there's a room with, it's just a massive lava pit, and like there's these big columns coming down that have like enemies on it. It's just the original game's castle is almost like Sen's Fortress. It's not even like you're like, people don't live here. Some dude it's just a fun house of traps.
It's a Saw game of traps. Like
so definitely the remake, you could see they wanted to be like, okay, this is like a real castle with a real design and stuff. But Ashley's character, I feel like Ashley and Leon had a lot. You just felt like they were actually human beings talking to each other, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why I like the original one more.
Right.
I just like that Leon is a quip machine. I'm going to steal a line from Zero Punctuation, because I love how he described original Leon, which is that Leon in original Resident Evil 4 is an insecure person's idea of the coolest badass in the world. And I'm like, yeah, I like that. I'm stealing that. Anyways, but here's the thing. I still really like Remake Leon. I decided to pull up the Salazar boss fight on YouTube just because like I wanted to specifically recite the lines at the beginning of that boss fight because the why don't you show
Oh,
me what a first class script is? You're just an extra in my movie. Like it goes on for so fucking long, and it is the funniest shit. Why is there a little Frenchman turning into a complete monstrosity debating me about a metaphor as a joke? I love it. Anyways, I pulled up the cutscene. Leon, you talk too much, and just shooting him in the middle. I cannot discount Leon Remake because this man is doing what everyone is always thinking, which is they're
Just shoot.
monologuing. Just
shoot him.
shoot
He
him.
does it twice in the remake. He shoots
Yes.
Salazar.
I don't give a shit. Boom.
Yeah, that's one of the God, yeah, like again, even if I'm okay in the end that they didn't recapture the 2005 game's tone because that's kind of just hard to replicate again. It's a product of its time and you wouldn't be able to do it one to one without it feeling kind of like shallow or hollow or just a failed missed attempt. So instead they kind of just they recontextualize it in a new way through the gameplay and everything else. And I just like I don't mind this new version of Leon, even if I love the old goofier version of Leon who's completely unaware that everything he says and does is like it's like really nerdy and corny.
Now, I have to say though, like on when it comes to Ashley, I'm gonna be this definitive about it. Is Remake Ashley better than original? I am going to say she is objectively better than the original. I still like the original one more just because I like how shrill and annoying she is. I love how fucking ridiculous it is that Leon
Dumbo ears.
Oh my god. Like she's look, it kind of blew me away when I found out that she was like 20 or something. I'm like, no, she's like 16. That's why it's kind of funny that Leon like rebuffs her at the end of the game where she's like, "Hey, you want to fucking sleep with the president's daughter? Do you want to fuck me hard?" And Leon's like, "No way, bro." By the way, I want to say the other word.
Don't say the other one.
I really want to. I really want
I
to.
know.
But I mean, like, anyways, I love original Ashley because she sucks. She's hilarious. It's hilarious.
She's hilarious. Yeah, like
Leon is fighting through fucking hell for a 16-year-old child that's like, oh god, I just want to go home. And Leon's like, dude, do you realize the fucking monstrosities I had to fight to get here? It feels like she's like she's at any second about to say a slur about these Spanish people. Like at any moment, like you have to remember that she's supposed to be like a Bush daughter, and it exudes all through her. Like this is not in the remake. She's not a Bush daughter. She's like a white Obama's daughter. Okay, like that's what she is. Like I don't. I kind of
woke. No.
Oh no.
I mean, to be fair, I think it might be racist because I said she's a white Obama. So that, like,
you say it than us.
like she's supposed to be respectable, okay? But I mean, like, I prefer the remake where she's a little shit.
Yeah, the original. Yeah, it's hard to replace certain elements of the original. And fun fact, I don't know if you guys know this, but the voice actor for Ashley in the original is Sandy Cheeks from SpongeBob. So, I
forgot about that.
Anyone listening,
I love that.
Anyone listening, you're welcome for that fact.
I can hear it.
Yep,
I can hear it.
Because God, who is it? There's someone in Metal Gear Solid that's Pearl, I think, from SpongeBob. I can't remember who it is.
Is it?
It's the boss. Yeah, the boss. When I learned that, I was like, oh, now I can't unhear it.
I hate that you said that because it's something that clicked in my brain like at the end of Metal Gear Solid 3 when she's having this big emotional speech, and I'm just like, that's Mr. Krabs' daughter.
Yeah.
Mr. Krabs' daughter went to space and got really existential.
All the SpongeBob people are making their way into all of our favorite video games. I love it.
Also, she's the voice of Diane, the news reporter from Family Guy, which is always
That's
another thing
funny.
that like that one bothers me more than anything else because it's like she's just like this new. She has like basically the same like very serious voice, except she's saying dumb shit that Seth MacFarlane is making her say.
Yeah,
So I'm just like, damn it.
wasted talent.
Anyways, Metal Gear Solid 3, what a fucking great game. I don't know where else to go, but I know there's so much
I
more.
guess from here, in terms of just story beats, again, like the changes, they made sense. So having more of Lewis in this remake, and he's Lewis, like obviously has changes to him, both in how much more time he's in it for, but like his banter with Leon, like it still very much feels like the original game in that way, where like he's like just like pissing Leon off, and it's like
I
they have
hate
like a
insects. Take care of them,
yeah,
would
like
you?
they have
Why don't you stop running your mouth and start
like their
shooting?
routine, like their whole entire routine is like it's similar in ways to the original, but like changed enough, and getting more of that.
Give us a push, Sancho. Who you calling Sancho?
Just getting more of that is just like was so much fun, and like even how they spoilers for any, obviously if you're listening this far, like why and you haven't played it yet, well, you're lost. Lewis getting the knife in the back from Krauser, definitely a new change I like from the original. I think it's Salazar that
It
kills him in the original, right?
no, it's Sadler, bro. Leon
Not
opens
Salazar.
the
Sorry, yeah, Sadler. I keep.
or
It's okay. Look, there's a lot of
yeah,
S's
there's
here,
a
man.
lot of
Okay.
S's.
Yeah. It's yeah. Like when that happens in the original, it sucks. But in this remake, it's like, oh man, like it kind of recontextualizing it in a new way with like someone from Leon's past, and giving like Krauser extra time too to flesh out, and giving him like a bit more banter with Leon. Um, kind of like just yeah, like all of that, just better changes. Even if like just overall, like those two in particular, I'm glad they greatly improved. Like not necessarily, yeah, greatly improved on, but like not like at the expense of the original game. It's just giving you more of what you loved in that original game, I suppose, is what I'm trying to get at. Because I just, and again, like I don't think we really delved into it. I fucking love the minecart section, even if it's an on rails like set piece thing, because it's so fast and fun and ridiculous that like just it's just a grand old time in the caves.
I don't hate it. It's fun. Uh, Honestly, my favorite thing about it is probably just seeing the Chainsaw Man
Yes.
just
Yeah.
ride off into the Honestly,
Bro,
okay, you know what? Okay, now that I figured out how I can do thumbnails for specific episodes, I'm gonna make sure that the thumbnail. I need to go into my PS5 and find a screenshot of just him off
Staring.
in a little corner, just holding the chainsaw and just sitting there watching you. This man is like a good couple of yards away, and he's just like, oh, I swear to fucking God, when we get to the other side of this goddamn mountain, I swear to fucking God.
No, it's crazy. It's across playing the game 7 times. I don't think
Whew.
I don't think a chainsaw guy attacked once during the minecart. Like I
Oh,
don't
he
even
got me a couple of
No,
times.
I was just like, cuz
I got scot-free.
they come up to you and you just start slamming him in his old sack face, just pelting him with bullets, and then he just like stays perma staggered the whole time. So I was like, do you just show up to look intimidating? Like, what are you doing?
Dude, sometimes I suck at shooting. Like I just really suck, and like sometimes I'll miss. And like this man, the harder difficulties, he can swing quicker.
Yeah, that's insane. But the Minecraft, it was pretty fun.
Hold on. One thing, come on. I know that we probably all tried this. Did you once you got out of the caves for a little bit and you saw the people up top? You tried
Yes.
shooting them, right? How many times did you nail them?
I've probably hit it like 2 or 3 times.
Same.
Yeah.
A couple times.
I know that you have 2 playthroughs, so like that's okay. Like I if it's at 0, it's okay, understandable.
Because it was nice they had the little. There's the having the trophies to do those sections without taking damage was actually kind of a nice little challenge. It wasn't like the hardest thing, but it wasn't like a cakewalk either. Those are the type of trophies I think that I like. It's like making you play the game better and in a different way, like, but it's not asking too much of you.
By the way, everyone, I apologize in advance. Currently, we have sold the Final Fantasy Pixel remaster thing for $540, and I'm printing the label right now. So I apologize if the printer starts showing up in the rest of my audio. I'm not cutting it out, okay? UPS 3-day select.
The FPS counter keeps getting turned off.
The FPS counter.
Something.
What, we counting FPSs on the podcast? Sick. I can assure you guys that this podcast will run at 4K 60, unlike Phil. Okay, there we go. We got the label. Holy shit, that printed out really quickly. Well, I warned everyone for no reason. This man's address, by the way, if you want to... No, I'm not going to do that. My snake amiibo fell. Where the fuck are you? Snake! Snake!
Snake!
Okay, there we go.
I guess in terms of other boss fights, too, I definitely want to mention Big Cheese fight. Still great, and yes, I still call him Big Cheese. I know that's I know they don't call him that in the remake, but he's just forever Big Cheese, and I just like he's still great in the remake. Loved him, even if it wasn't like too deviated from the original, which is like, again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of situation. And his fight in the barn, really awesome. And trying to think of some other just fights. Oh, the first giant fight, yeah, that was still awesome. We totally didn't even mention maybe one of if not the best boys in gaming. Hey, it's that dog.
Oh,
which
it's that dog. Same line, yes, thank God.
Same line. Fuck you, Capcom, by the way, for tricking us. They got us in the first half. Not gonna lie,
genius marketing, and also genius just set up how it is in the start of the game, where you just see the one dead dog body there that's being picked apart by crows, and you're like, no! But then once you hear the cry and whimper outside of a Big Cheese's house, you're like, wait! It's him!
Okay, hold on. Look. We have to add this too, okay? I have a small clip, right, where in one of my playthroughs, I ran over to him, right? You get him out, and Leon's line is, "You too, huh?" or something along the lines of that.
Yes.
Right? And as soon as I was done getting him out, I accidentally walked into one.
Oh,
yeah, I did that as well. I did that.
They were...
Dude, it's so good.
They really troll you. They trolled you with the bear traps so badly.
Oh, dude, Donkey's fucking video of just every single time walking into it, it's like, yeah, that's Resident Evil 4 remake, all right.
But no, in contrast to the characters, it's kind of insane how untouched most of the boss fights are. I think Krauser got the biggest facelift, obviously.
Yeah.
And Salazar's is a little different, but other than that, most every boss encounter plays out in the exact same way as it does in the OG game. The first
fight, it's just
the Gigante fight plays the same. The double Gigante fight has a little extra layer because Lewis is there, but it's the same thing where you can drop him in the lava.
And one's armored,
which is nice. That's a nice little touch. The Krauser fight was probably my favorite.
Yep. Same.
Yes.
Yep.
It's a little, which is weird because it's a little scripted, but I didn't mind it. Because you're still moving around doing, and there's so many little details to it. You can shoot him before he shoots you when you know he's coming in those little scripted sections, and just kind of
Sloppy, and you fucking blast him with a billion bullets. It's like, okay, Sloppy, okay, all right there, calm it down, Commander.
I'm no stranger to covert tactics.
I can't wait to see you ride.
No, he was just a blast.
I totally spit a little bit there. Oh my god,
Perry. But I was actually even Del Lago. It was the same exact thing, but it was kind of more fun.
No, it's not the same fucking thing. Dude, the funniest thing that kept popping into my mind every time I got to the Del Lago fight is that there's one person at Capcom who's like, fuck all you guys, Del Lago is peak.
Yeah.
He was a little he got so tanky on professional, but I don't know. I don't mind it,
dude. When you share the speed run of,
oh my god, yeah, 11 throws.
how, dude. By the way, like the little extra challenges in the game, like the fact that there's one to take out Del Lago without missing one. Like I tried it for a little bit in my final playthrough on assisted, and I said I tried it 3 times, and I said, "Fuck it, I'm not doing this."
Did you guys?
And this man out here is speed running, and he landed all 11 shots on professional. Jesus Christ.
God. Yeah, I gotta get to the professional run at some point. But I was gonna mention, did you guys shoot the lake? I did.
I did, yeah.
Oh no, I didn't want to do that. No.
First thing I did, when I got to the lake, I was on stream, and whoever was watching, I was like, "Watch this!" Shot the lake, and immediately, yeah, Del Lago comes out of the lake and eats you again. And that's the thing. It's like little things like that they kept in the remake that just made me appreciate, like, okay, the people who made this remake love the original game, and it shows. And even other small changes in other portions of the game too. Like back in the village, when you like get back to it later, the game, the fucking tower blows up. I totally forgot to mention that.
That's a nice little part. Yeah. Now I want to say there is some brutal death animations. Leon gets, dude, when the two Ganado hold you down for execution, that's insane.
Wait, I've never saw that.
No. Okay, no, look up Leon death animations then. It's got to be one of the first ones. Yeah, the two Ganado will hold Leon's arms down, kick him on his knees, and another one will come up and just eviscerate, just pure guillotine him.
I need to see this again.
Or maybe they like stab him in the back, I don't remember. But Salazar has that one death animation when he grabs Leon. I know both of you have had to have been hit by that move. When Salazar just grabs you in his mouth and then like tosses Leon up like the steak and just one bites him.
Yep.
Yes. Oh, dude, I got that one so many times when I was trying to figure out the grenade in the mouth.
Yeah.
And eventually, of course, the egg. One complaint here. I would have liked them to change Leon's model in some of these kills, okay? Because if I see the Chainsaw Man go into Leon's abdomen and then bringing up forward, up his torso, I would have liked to see Leon's torso literally split into two. I would have liked that, okay? Look, I understand at this point this is nitpicking because you guys have done so fucking much in this game that, whatever. Looking at, by the way, I have the death animations video up right now. One that I had completely forgotten about is when the one that I saw so many times, and I know Moki could probably agree, is when these fuckers run at you, grab you, snap your neck.
Yeah.
Like there's no art to it. There's no skill in it. Just grab, snap, and then drop.
It's the command grab me. And another aspect of this game is, and
holy shit! Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I never seen the Krauser one where if you fail the tapping button, he grabs you, puts your back down, and then stabs you right at the base of your neck.
Oh shit! Yeah, actually, I don't think I ever died there doing that.
Okay, I'm gonna send you guys just a screenshot because, I'm
watching this video.
Shit,
and it's just good. So many, and some of these I'm seeing, I feel like maybe for the first time because I'm like, holy shit, there's a lot more than I remember there being on both playthroughs.
God, yeah, that's actually really fucking good. Oh my god,
that is fucking nuts.
This game is so fucking good. I've played it 7 or 8 times, and there's still shit where I was like, what? That's the thing?
This mechanic infuriated me, but I'm glad it was in the game. They added, soft crimson heads, where the guys, it's nice that in the village section in the original game, you literally had a bunch of Ganados, one chainsaw guy, maybe 2 chainsaw guys. And that was it. And it was nice that they added the little bull men, which are nice. It's just a nice
the bull guys,
which are also hilarious because they can clothesline you, which is hilarious.
Did they ever clothesline Ashley for you? Because they did it for me.
She did.
God,
it was hilarious.
I was not that lucky.
Another hilarious thing: the shovel wielding Ganados, because they just
the comedic sound.
Literally just the Warner Brothers cartoon smack somebody with a frying pan sound.
Dude,
it's
my god,
the best
I fucking
thunk
love
ever.
it. Dude, however the Resident Evil and sorry, RE engine, however the RE engine handles ragdoll feels so fucking good at that thonk.
And then they added the little like so before guys become like Plagos heads, there's just like the normal reanimated guys that like they're like they have
the cracked necks,
the nearly headless Nick, Ganados. They're basically like Crimson Heads, like in RE1 Remake, where if you let a zombie exist too long without burning them, and I thank God they didn't add burning them. This is pure Evil Within slander. I'm taking a shot at this. Burning the bodies is not a fun mechanic. It is tedious and annoying. Anyway, giving you the option to just use knife resource to just kill them off and not have to deal with an even tankier, faster, more grabby zombie.
Oh my god!
They're definitely, especially during the holdout in the house with Lewis. I knew that if I was letting any of these motherfuckers reanimate, like I was fucked. I just reset at that point.
Yeah, I'm hardcore sweaty.
Oh, dude, playing that shit on professional, like, okay. Hold on, another death animation when they fucking grab you and just poke out your eyes.
Oh yeah,
yeah, they just out your eyes. They just go for the eyes. They don't even care.
These motherfuckers, like, it's the grab animations, probably because I died to those most of the fucking time, but I feel like those just happening so sudden hurt so much because of it. Anyways, on my professional playthrough, I was doing S+, 15 saves. Because of how much the village section was kicking my ass, I used too many saves, and I knew that I didn't want to get into the castle and just have to sweat it. So I knew that I had to do like a bit of chapter 5, and then I had to do like 6 in an entire run, which meant that I had to do the Bella sisters and Big Cheese in the same fucking run. And I was stupid, didn't know how to actually do Big Cheese, so I kept dying to him, and I kept having to go back to the Bella sisters, and oh my fucking god. Oh, okay, filter point isn't right, because I wasn't gonna be like, I hate this game, I'm dropping it. Saying, like, it's more like, oh, it's a skill check moment.
Bella sisters, that whole chapter 5 into 6, and then the double Ganado, double Garbodor.
Wait, hold on, sorry, I completely forgot why I even brought this up. The other section that I had earlier because of my saves that fucked me up was that in the previous chapter I had to do the dog side quest into the household out.
Oh yeah,
like that was all one save on professional. Oh my fucking god. And that dog takes so many fucking bullets. Honestly, Salazar could have just had an army of those dogs, and I don't think I would have saved Ashley.
I think when you use what is it, because they worked in the original on the knights, and they do in the remake, but like when they show, it's like the whenever like like whenever they show like the tentacle coming out of their head or whatever enemy you're facing, a flashbang usually did it. Like one flashbang would take them out,
but it wouldn't take out
the dog.
Like,
okay, I wasn't sure, because I remember that was that's another thing. As someone who loves and adores the original, I was always trying things from the original game. So like when I got to like the part in the castle where like the knights come to life and come at you, the first thing I tried, like as soon as I got them to expose like their parts, I was like, flashbang, and it worked again. That's like just further continuing that, like, the people that made this game love the original, and they're always winking and nodding to it.
The flashbangs, they work on the Gyarados too.
Oh,
they don't kill on hardcore, but I think on standard, as soon as the parasite pops out,
really?
I think they insta kill.
Oh shit! Okay.
on assisted and standard, but it just does big damage when you flashbang the parasite plaga. So
noted.
I was just happy that the flashbangs actually did distract them. That's what I was happy about, because oh my god. Hey, hold on. This is a new death animation. The Iron Maidens, if they grab you, they can just continuously beat you with their spikes.
Actually, I did like that they kind of lumped the regenerators and Iron Maidens into kind of one thing.
Dude, hold on. There's another one. I'm sorry. I gotta stop. Look, the death animations are fun, so like, I'm sorry. I'm gonna keep doing
there's so many.
All right, the other one, the regenerators, when they grab you on the ground and they just
Yes.
start chomping on your neck, dude. I fucking hate. Okay, hold on. One, they're terrifying. Two, they're doofy, and I don't know how the fuck you merged both of those things together. But that death animation, the screenshot that I just posted right now. Sorry to everyone who's listening. Am I gonna put this in the video version? Fuck no, because that's more work. Again, I'm going to describe it. The regenerator is on the ground. He grabs you
That's
and
a
he
pretty
puts you on the
funny.
ground. He starts
Yes.
chewing on
That's
you
a
and
very
he kills
funny
you.
shot.
Dude, no, dude, you don't understand, because what he does, like he starts chewing and he just has that smile during the "you are dead"
Oh my
sequence. So
God.
he's just kind of like, ha, 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 fucking
That's
gotcha,
really
bitch. I'm scary. It's like, oh, but
How do you
yeah,
guys
like
feel about the
we're
regenerators, by the way, in this remake?
terrifying.
Yeah,
They're great.
They're
Yeah,
great.
the regenerate section is nice. They're just sick enemies. They're very cool.
I
It's
just
a
love.
nice little change of pace. They're scary.
I love the first one you like run into is the one that just like comedically runs across the screen.
Dude, they're doofy. That's the thing that I fucking hate about them, because like in the original one it feels like they're just kind of
Yeah,
some
they're really
reason.
wobbly.
Yeah.
They're really jiggly.
They're this for some.
why do they have
yeah.
titties? Why are they
This
pregnant?
these ones had like the fattest cakes, and
Well,
there's like
yeah,
runs.
they're like bloated, distended a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh my god, my wife would watch me and she's like, why does it have an ass?
Oh,
And I'm just like, I don't know. I'm terrified. I can't pay attention to his ass. I just don't want to die.
another.
Hold on. The fucking sequence when you're protecting Ashley and a regenerator pops out
Oh
of the
my
trash.
god, yeah, that was.
Oh my
it's-
God.
I was so. But this is another contextual thing. You can run across while she sews the bridge
Yeah.
up, and she'll wait until the regenerator is halfway across the bridge and drop the wheel and just drop it
That's
into
what
the
I did.
sewage.
Yeah, that's what I did immediately. Like I knew like that bridge, like just knowing by that point in the game how interactive it was. I was like, this has to work, and it did. And I was like, let's go.
Okay, speaking of a segment like that, I think it's chapter 14 when you have to have her hold down the thing, like the little door. What I realize is that I can tell her to, as soon as I walk through the door, I tell her to follow me, and then I go unlock the door, so that stopped the enemies from being able to grab her.
Oh.
Dude, this fucking game, man, it's just so many little systems like this. How is it that they made such a linear game, something where it feels like you can tackle things so differently while keeping the same core of the original games? How?
Everyone take notes going forward.
Yes, I will. Yeah, I guess. Where do you think they go from here
Oh, well, for one,
with the?
Resident Evil
for
5.
one, I think in terms of gameplay, I don't know how you don't bring forth the change, like the quality of life changes that kind of just redefined Resident Evil third person gameplay with parrying and like the like helmet. There's a little stealth in there. It's not like you have to do that, but it's there. So it's just like I can't think. Like playing like RE9 and say like what early 2025, that'll probably when it drops. I can't for the life of me think that there's going to be no parrying, but maybe there won't be. I don't know. It's like
I'm sorry. Okay, no, you understand. So I'm at the segment in the death animation scene for the minecart kills. I
Oh my
tagged you
god,
guys in
dude! Have
one.
you not seen, dude? When you fail the tilt, the ragdoll is so
Yes,
funny.
That's the one that just made me laugh.
I
right
forgot
now.
to bring that up. No, yeah, I had it
I'm
once where I
watching this.
wasn't paying attention and I died during
Oh.
on a bend in the cave, and yeah, Leon and Lewis just smacked straight into the wall.
Yeah,
It
that was pretty
hilarious.
They just ragdolled off the tracks.
Wait, Sam, did you?
I
click
did.
the
I'm
video?
watching it.
Dude, the first one
Just go-
where you just
yeah,
slam
yeah.
into the wood.
I was dying.
Oh, I fucking love it. God.
I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry. This video is so no.
It's
I'm
all
not
good.
apologizing to you. I'm apologizing to the 7 people who are listening to this because I keep interrupting good conversation for, hey guys, on this YouTube video.
Death. God, I just.
Oh, my
But
God.
yeah, like just back to in terms of like what's next. I'm guessing. I'm gonna assume Capcom just doesn't want to even bring forth a lot of the side spin-off stuff because like they just want
Code Veronica was right
Code
there,
Veronica is right there, which would be pretty cool. But I do think they just kind of want this like people like just the numbered entries kind of thing, you know, like they don't really want to like veer too off from like too much from doing just the main series.
Hear me out. Hear me
Go
out.
for it.
Just fuck it. Code Veronica now becomes Resident Evil
Oh
5.
my god,
Yeah, that would be insane.
that'd be fucking nuts. But I do think, and we didn't really mention it, but just like Ada's existence in this remake, she's probably the weakest element of the
Totally.
remake. She doesn't really. Granted, she's not in the original a lot, but she was definitely a lot more.
I mean,
I find her.
she's there.
She's there.
Though. She's a presence. She doesn't feel like a vacuum of charisma.
Yeah, she moves. She's a lot more charismatic in the original. I love, like, again, like in the original, that scene between her and Leon where they fight, like have a quick little, tango, and he's like, "Oh, the line about the knife and guns." It's like I forever hold that dearly. So in the remake, she kind of just shows up occasionally, and it's like really just kind of, "Hey, Leon, I'm
it's
here."
Me, Ada.
Feel bad for the voice actress who got a lot of shit online because people always take that shit too far when it's not just criticism anymore. But again, yeah, like I'm sure separate ways. They're. I think it's already been kind of just like confirmed that Separate Ways is coming, the DLC from the original game.
Yeah, someone on PC, I think, had trouble getting mercenaries to actually load up, so they went into the files to force it to show up, and then Separate Ways showed up as well.
So I think that will come, and that'll probably be okay. Like, I'm expecting that will just be like a nice little, like, here you go. It's a few hours long, and have fun. But going forward, yeah, RE5 just seems like that's next. And yeah, we got the...
it's the partner AI,
but yeah, I was gonna say the post credit scene, the post credits, post credit scene. Yeah, it was cool to see. It was cool to see Wesker since he kind of just disappears until 5 in the original series. So like he's in he is
Code Veronica.
He is Code Veronica.
That is the Wesker game.
Yes, that is the Wesker game, and
which is insane. That is one RE game I have not played.
Oh.
Play it.
I will play
okay,
it.
actually, hold on.
It's worth it, Edward.
Beat the allegations, right?
Okay, look. You might like it because you like the old style.
Yes, sir.
What I will say is that that even though I will talk endless shit about old style, that even Remake had me going, okay.
Yeah, I've heard that it has some tedium.
It is.
To it.
It's not. It's far from. It's far from perfect, but how ridiculous it is. You got to play it. I know you'll have fun with it.
Amount of sorry, not the amount of cutscenes. The amount of cheese in the cutscenes might be the highest amount of concentration outside of 4.
Yeah,
I could not fucking believe it, and it was incredible because of it.
But
okay, so now I'm going to maybe derail it. I apologize. I just don't want to. I just want to make sure that we don't not mention it. Verdugo. Now,
good encounter.
Oh, it's so fucking
actually
good.
Shout out the sound design on that. They really they kept the fight encounter. It's pretty much one-to-one to the OG, but the extra layers of modernity in the sound design and having headphones on and hearing this motherfucker skittering across the damn rafters. Even before he shows up, first time he runs at you, I was so convinced my ass was getting shanked. It's the biggest tease ever. I cannot believe how good the sound design was.
Guys, me and my theater room.
Yes.
I am happy to report Verdugo was in my fucking ceiling.
Yes.
This man was coming through the ceiling speakers. And here's the thing. This is why, look, Capcom, they could have designed it sound-wise to make it work like that. But here's the thing. Xbox actually has Dolby Atmos. Jim Ryan didn't want to fucking pay the license, so I have no Dolby Atmos. So that is why it is impressive to me that either their sound design or my sound system was smart enough to know, hey, this motherfucker's in the ceiling, send his audio to the ceiling speakers. Either way, because Jim Ryan definitely isn't providing these developers enough audio for that. By the way, did you know that if you have a sound system set up, 3D audio isn't actually enabled? So whenever people are like, "Oh, 3D audio from the PlayStation 5," like, no, I don't have that because it's just doing it for stereo. So fuck you, Jim Ryan. Anyways, yes, Verdugo. The one thing I want to mention is that if you read the like the lore, no, that's pickups, whatever.
Lore.
If you
Diary.
read the stuff, right? And there's different dialogue depending if you read it or not. So if you do read it, then Leon goes, "You're Ramon's lapdog."
Oh yeah.
If you don't read it, it is so much better though, because this complete fucking scorpion monstrosity thing pops up just out of nowhere from the fucking ceiling, and Leon's first instinct is, "You son of a bitch!" They, I love it. I love it. It's so good. It's so fucking good. And now now every
He's
playthrough,
very,
I'm not gonna read any of the stuff because Leon sees a fucking straight up monstrosity. You son of a
He's very
bitch!
xenomorph like, and that's what I always loved about his design. And just like you said, like you hear him like just skittering around the vents and stuff. It's just like Alien in that sense. And
Dude, like, I love that scene because it just really felt like, oh my god, this man is really gonna fuck me up.
Another insanely hard Leon one-liner is when he says, "Give my regards to your god," to Mendez after you kill him. That line goes so hard.
All right, now, okay, just because we're on lines and I've had this video up and I want to be able to close it, where is it? Oh, come on, there we go. I'm just gonna, "You're nothing but an extra in my script, Mr. Kennedy." Hold on. "So don't get too carried away. Your big scene is over." I'm gonna read this whole fucking thing, by the way. "Leave me out of your crappy script." "Well then, why don't you show me what a first class script is like, through your own actions?" Hold on. Is there another line from Leon? No, that's it. Okay. I thought there was way more. I think maybe because I was fucking terrified of getting eaten again, that, like, I thought they banter for, like, an entire fucking, like, just 1 minute through a movie metaphor. But anyways, that's all fucking good. Verdugo, I like his one-liner at the end because it actually sounds like Leon doesn't really have a quip when you kill Verdugo. He's like, "My condolences to your master." It honestly feels like, "I respect you. You were hard as hell." Bro, I don't want to do this again.
Yeah. Verdugo, just every boss fight was great. But no, I definitely think that they're gonna do 5 remake.
Yeah,
it feels
I'm
like
down.
they put in the work on this, and I think it'll be fun. I mean, at the bare minimum,
totally.
it's gotta be fun.
Yeah.
5 is a whole other host of things that they'll have to deal with.
Yep.
And I'm not. The guy that suggested give Leon a parry, I hope that guy is spearheading the entire project. Because I want to see what wacky shit he cooks up for Chris to do. I want Chris to like Chris can walk up to a barrel and you can punt the barrel and then it just like mows down that. Just some insane over the top bullshit.
Yeah.
Like,
I want them to take the exact same model, the same PS3 model of Senator from Metal Gear Rising. I want them to take his powers, his metal arms. By the way, do not touch this up. Do not make it 4K.
Yeah, right,
the exact same fucking model. But here's the thing. From the neck up, it is RE Engine Chris.
Oh my god.
Okay? And what I want is that I want his parries to be on his arm. I want his parries to be blocking it, his arm turns metal, and that is it. And pretty much just go from there. But that is the only thing I request. All right, I'm realizing that we are 7 minutes away. And what else do we got?
I'm just going to quickly wrap up by saying that, like, I'm glad this remake just hit as well as it did, and I'm going forward. Yes. I am a little bit like I'm just gonna keep an open mind again because like I know eventually this, as long running as this series is, it's probably gonna shoot itself in the foot again, and it kind of did with Village for me. So I'm hoping that RE9 is something that like kind of brings back maybe a lot more of the classic elements again, like how RE4 did, while still being a new experience. I'm down for a 5 remake. I also think we could also use like the subgenre of like co-op games again after playing stuff like It Takes Two and stuff like.
Does it come back with
co-op? I think it does.
I think it has.
It has to, but like you could play it solo still because of like how well Lewis just worked as AI in the in RE4 here. I think they'll do a good job. I like now having the technology they do in RE Engine just being utter black magic. Yeah, overall, outstanding remake. I gave it a 10. Think it's gonna stay a 10. Totally, like the very little complaints like that we had earlier were like so minor of a changes. It's not like enough for me to affect any of the overall experience I had both times playing it. So
Okay, final thoughts.
Yeah, this is a game where I spent pretty much the entire weekend and then every night after work just turning on my PlayStation and playing this game. And I don't know, I probably put 40 or 50 hours in it in a week, which is more than I'd probably ever put into games in like the past 5 years. And
Yeah.
despite having gone through the game 7 or so times already, watching copious speed runs on the game already, and pretty much having done most anything I can do in it, I still have the itch in the back of my head of like,
Yes.
I could just turn my PlayStation on and blitz through the game in 4 hours, like,
Yes.
and I would have fun doing it. And I think that that feeling is going to linger with me throughout most of the year. And maybe there's those games that you're always like, I could just boot this up and like blast through this. And the RE1 remake is the
Yeah.
same way for me, where I feel I can boot that game up at any time and just blitz through it in a couple hours and have
facts.
a great night. And I think this game is being added to that rapport of games. So very happy with modern Capcom, and I'm excited to see what else they do.
This is a time that I am so happy to eat my words on this one. I had complete doubts on this game, and it paid off. Now, the one thing that here's the thing, I am stupid. I have terrible memory. Okay, I can't run through the old Resident Evil games because I swear to God, every single playthrough of Resident Evil 2 that I'm gonna do, it's gonna take me like 10 hours because I'm not gonna remember where fucking anything is. Resident Evil 4, it is not hard for me to remember where I need to go. So it is a game that I can just run through endlessly. And I actually left one more playthrough for me that if I am going to want to go back at some point, but the playthrough is going to be professional, no matter what rank, no special weapons. So like I still have that one there left for me. And it feels so nice that I had a game come out, and it's just nice whenever you have to stop and think of where am I gonna put this in my favorites list because of how good it is. So yeah, are we good? Is that it?
Woo, where's everyone
Yeah.
going? Bingo.
What?
Resident Evil
4. Okay, I thought someone was gonna say it. Okay. Then yes, everyone go to bingo. End card.
Hey, look at you. You got to the end of the episode. From episode 0 to the day that I finally get lazy and cancel the show, a big thank you to Joey Rawlings for providing the perfect name for the show. Be sure to always give him thanks, either out loud as you're listening to this, or you can just send him a thank you tweet at boogeyman117_. That's boogeyman117, IE instead of Y, double O. Be sure that it's an underscore, not a dash, 117.
Okay, look, this is a pickup. Look, Mike, come on, we
The
can't,
GOAT,
dude,
unsung
Mike.
hero of RE4.
Dude, I don't care. Look, this is not gonna be edited. I'm not touching. This is literally just gonna go at the end of whatever already happened. Look, oh my God, Mike, dude, his fucking music kicks in. Mike is the fucking just. Ugh, I'm sorry. Look, this is gonna be unorganized. Go for it. I don't fucking care.
He knew a good bar.
Mike.
No, yeah, I love Mike. He's a little hokier. He's got that kind of twang to his voice.
He's so much more of a personality
The
now.
accent. He's so gung ho about like helping Leon out.
Oh my God, I swear to God that like everyone oh God, I'm stammering because I know we only have like 3 minutes. The fact that like I got my ass kicked so fucking badly by not Salazar, the knife man. We're moving on.
Krauser.
Krauser, thank you. The names, the time. I don't want to take up too much time. Krauser fucking destroyed me so fucking badly. And then getting to the next chapter and seeing the Gatling guns and seeing all of them, I'm like, dude, do you realize how fucking badly battered I am from chapter 14? I don't know if I can do this. And then Mike comes in and destroys everything in the music. I was like, oh my God, I can finish the game. Thank you, Mike. And like whenever Mike actually dies, it's like this might be one of the worst fucking moments in my life. Sam,
I've just that whole set piece is fucking just talk about improvement over the original, like them fixing the island the most, and then
It's so AIDS. The end of the game is so AIDS.
It is AIDS,
Yes.
and even in the remake, playing it first on hardcore, it's just fucking nuts. And having Mike there at least for just to fucking cover you, and I just loved his redneck gung ho personality.
bad news! I'm out of ammo. Don't worry, you got this.
Remind me of what's his face from Ellis from Left 4 Dead 2.
Oh, okay. Now I gotta say this very quickly. Having my ass handed to me, Mike comes in, saves me, and then immediately regenerators. I was like, God damn it, Capcom, you fucking played me.
Where he's like, take a break.
Oh my god. Okay, all right. I think that's it. I don't want to hit the fucking cap and then realize that we're just talking without recording. So